What is up, guys? It's your boy G. What a night of fights. But if you're here in the Philippines, guys, grabe, what a day of fights. If you're a sports fan, specifically us as combat sports fans, we won today, guys. So we had UFC 268, Canelo versus Plant. So let's break this down. So first, let's talk about Canelo versus Caleb Plant. Canelo Alvarez becomes the first undisputed super middleweight champion. It was a close fight when it started. Here's the thing that I want to say. Caleb Plant is very underrated. Caleb Plant showed, first of all, great defense. Caleb Plant showed he had a great jab. And Caleb Plant showed that he had a great uppercut. I actually gave the first 3 rounds to Caleb Plant. And I was like, watching Canelo, I know he's a slow starter. Pero guys, nung pinapanood si Caleb, sabi ko, this guy is boxing very well. He was able to defend the big body shots that Canelo is known for. Canelo picked up the pace. It was crazy. There was one more round where I believe I gave it to Caleb and it became, I think, about 6-4 rounds going into the 11th round wherein Canelo Alvarez knocks out Caleb Plant. It was scary. Every time Canelo connects, when he connected with Kovalev, when you saw Kovalev's body shake from a hook, from a straight from Canelo Alvarez, it was scary. And this was no different. Seeing Caleb Plant drop for the first time in his career, losing for the first time in his career, you lost the number 1 pound for pound, arguably the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world, and you gave him a good fight. Canelo Alvarez is the first ever undisputed super middleweight champion. Crazy. Now let's talk about UFC 268. Trevor Whitman 3-0. Rose Namajunas, Justin Gaethje, and of course in the main event, Kamaru Usman. So these were tough fights. So let's first talk about Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. When Daniel Cormier said, if you want to get fans in the arena for the first fight, put Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler in the first fight. When they clash, you know there's going to be magic. Both guys were hitting each other with bombs. Justin Gaethje wins this 3-round war. I wish it was 5 rounds. Michael Chandler is a great fighter. He has incredible power. But I believe the biggest problem with Michael Chandler, which I believe you guys already know, is Michael Chandler has low stamina. Michael Chandler can't keep up the pace for all rounds. You know, maybe he gets a second win in the middle, but at the end of the day, he wasn't able to keep up with Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje looked a bit more relaxed, a bit more composed, and had more stamina. And Justin Gaethje got the decision. And let's talk about Rose Namajunas. I remember watching the Embedded series wherein Zhang was saying, you know, she felt like it wasn't, that she wasn't really the better fighter, that she would believe that Rose was the better fighter if she got, you know, the decision over her over 5 rounds of war. And Rose was able to prove that, you know, she knocked out Zhang in the first fight and then beats her in an incredible close war. Hats off to the ladies. Rose is also still the strawweight champion. Now let's talk about the cream of the crop, the main event, Colby Covington versus the champion Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman. That was also a great fight. To be honest, when it started, I wasn't really feeling the fight as much as I felt when I watched their first fight. Their first fight was a war. Their first fight was a war from the get-go. There were no takedowns. With the wrestling capabilities, they were both reluctant in shooting for the takedown. During the middle rounds, it was very technical. It was more of a technical fight compared to the first fight. And I believe that was Colby Covington giving more respect to Kamaru Usman. He gave more respect that Kamaru Usman had better power. He was aware of that. Even before Colby went down in the second round, before he went down, was reluctant in throwing his combinations. But as the pace picked up and as Colby gained some confidence hitting Kamaru Usman, he gained some success. He won some of those late rounds. Well-deserved victory for Kamaru Usman. I think the biggest factor here was the knockdown. The 2 knockdowns, incredibly accurate punches from Kamaru Usman, putting Colby Covington down, and Kamaru Usman is still the welterweight champion. That's it for me today, guys. What a day of fights. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do now by clicking the subscribe button down below. Click the notification bell to get notified for upcoming videos. Once again, it's your boy G. I'll see you next time.